Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Avatar news update. And yeah, we have an update on the Avatar The Last Airbender action figures coming from Diamond Select Toys. These were just announced at San Diego Comic-Con, and now we have, I suppose, the official, wide solicitation of them. So this confirms to us a few things that clarify the release of these figures. It doesn't clarify everything, but I think with the two kind of pieces of information, what we knew from before plus this, I think we can figure everything out. So the fact that they're being solicited here obviously confirms to us there is going to be a wide release of these figures. They are not just going to be a Walgreens exclusive. Because of the way this is done, this is basically the solicitation for like online shops and also comic book stores, so specialist retailers for these figures, which makes sense given the company Diamond Select. I think what it means is that Walgreens is probably going to be the only like normal kind of shop that sells toys that's going to be getting these in. So it probably means that you won't see them in like a Walmart and a Target, those type of things. But you will see them in Walgreens because they got the exclusive deal on it. But you'll be able to find them in your local comic book store or from any online place that is going to get them in. So your big toy retailers online. So I think that's in general the way to take this. I don't know if I'm 100% correct on that. It very well could be in other places. It could be maybe just that Walgreens is getting them, like they're able to sell them like a month or so early, then everywhere else will get it. But they've got some sort of a deal, but you'll be able to get them, I suppose, is the main thing. So let's just read out the solicitation here. So Avatar The Last Airbender figure assortment, Diamond Select Toys LLC, a Diamond Select toy release. This assortment of 7-inch scale action figures shines a spotlight on Season 3 of the hit animated series Avatar The Last Airbender. Aang, Katara, and Zuko each come with accessories and interchangeable parts, and each comes packaged on a blister card. Designed by Eamon O'Donoghue, sculpted by Richard Force, in shops December 18th, 2019. Suggested retail price $19.99 per figure. So, this confirms a bunch of stuff to us. 7-inch scale, that's really nice. Most figures are either like 3/3/4 or 6-inch. So this is actually a little bit even like above what you'd usually expect. Now, obviously, the figures are obviously different sizes because it's meant to be accurate to the show. So, but still, it is nice. I suppose that more or less means that like Aang, who's like the shortest of these three characters, is probably going to be at least like 6 inches, and then Zuko, who's like the tallest here, is going to be the 7-inch one. But it leaves them open. That's the scale they're going for, and I like that. It means it's big enough that the sculpt is going to be able to look nice. They're going to be able to do a lot with it with the detail, and there's going to be enough to work with where they can put in good articulation as well. They don't have to hold back on either the sculpt or the articulation. So spotlight on Season 3 of the show. Makes sense for Zuko and Aang, of course. They're in their Book 3 outfits, but Katara is like in her Book 1 outfit, not her Book 3 outfit. Now, I think everyone would prefer the Book 3 one. So I think outside of the marketing thing here of just they're noting in their solicitation, focusing on Season 3, it feels so weird to then have one of the 3 figures you're talking about be not Season 3. But because it is basically the first ever like Katara action figure for the animated show, I think it makes sense why you'd want to start off with their like original design, and they can always, if they're successful in future waves, do the Book 3 design when they need to. So I don't think there's really that much of a problem with it. It's a really nice figure to start off with for Katara. They each come packaged with accessories and interchangeable parts. That makes sense. Most action figures come with accessories. And then the interchangeable parts, if you're not really familiar with toys and action figures, is usually the way they do the accessories for kind of more high-end figures like these ones, where because they're going for like accuracy and also really good articulation, instead of just having to mold like the hands into a position where they can fit accessories into and it be like awkward looking, they instead just give you a bunch of different hands. Like you exchange the hands for whatever accessory it is. If you need the character to have a different expression, they just give you an extra head or something like that. That's the like easiest way to do it, instead of trying to create some weird kind of gimmick with the figure. Instead, it's just pop the head off, put the new head on for the new expression, and we'll see that when we look at the pictures in more detail. Each comes packaged on a blister card. I think all that means is just that like it's going to be packaged on a card with the kind of plastic bubble rather than like a big box or something like that. So that's all it is. And yeah, December, I think that just means that is the the date for comic book stores. Walgreens, I think probably will get them in before then. And then 20 per figure, I think makes sense. That's a good price for the 7-inch scale. It being a more sort of high quality figure, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, let's get a look at this. The same picture there, but bigger, so we get a closer look. So, let's start with Katara actually, because it is her first time getting an action figure, animated Katara, of course. And yeah, I really like it. Like I said, it captures the Book 1 Katara really well. With look at the hair loopies, look at the details on the face. I think especially the eyes, I think that the paint is really nice. It captures the general shape of the characters' faces from the show very well. The nice details on the betrothal necklace. You have the water pouch here, the braid coming off the back. I think it all looks really nice. The colors for the different kind of parts of her outfit as well really work, and even down as far as the kind of feet as well. I think there's good detail here, and in that sense I actually appreciate in a way why they're going for the first design of Katara, because it is a notable thing of just it's her first figure, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's about all there really is to say about Katara. I think just in general with these figures, I hope the paint quality maintains this level of standard when we see the final release. Oftentimes figures like this, which are maybe dependent on a good paint job, there can be copies of a figure that look kind of bad. So this might be one of those ones where, like, if you have an opportunity to see a bunch of these in person, probably take a look, because like you want the eyes and the characters to look well and stuff like that. But we'll see. Hopefully they've got good quality control on these figures. Here is Aang. And again with Aang, with the paint, it's going to be an interesting one to see the consistency on the arrows, because of course it's there in his head, but it's going to have to go all the way down the back of his head, on the neck, the bit of his back that we can see. You get a slight look at the arrows on the side of his arm, but they don't show any pictures of like basically the where most of the arrow would be. So that's going to be interesting to see. And on this hand as well, what it looks like. But again, with Aang, I like the sculpt here, just the eyebrows, the big ears. It fits him. It's a really nice version of Aang's face here, sculpted. And then yeah, the clothes, I think the colors are good. It's sections like this around the hips, because like obviously they are going to be articulated by the hips, so you can move the hands out, the legs out forward. So you can put them in more kind of like martial artsy type poses. That means there is going to be some questions about like what material is this section of each of their clothes made out of. I assume it's some sort of like vinyl plastic, so that it bends very easily, so that the characters, you can move their legs around a lot without so it sort of feels like fabric, but there's no way that they're fabric. I don't think it looks like fabric at all either. So I think this is just going to be a very bendable, flexible plastic, so that the character's legs can move. But yeah. And yeah, the details look pretty nice here in these kind of promo shots here. Again, I just hope the quality remains going into the full release. And then here is Zuko. The angle here means that we don't get the greatest look at him. So Zuko's face, I think it could just be the angle looks a little odd, just because we're kind of looking a little bit down. But again, the detail, that's the color, that's the way they do his scar in the animation. It's a little bit more of a serious kind of face. But then yeah, the layers of his clothing I think works very nice, and so on, all the way down to the legs. Nice detail where there needs to be detail. The other picture we have is this one, which was the picture from the panel, but this is obviously a clear version of it. So you get a sense of some of the accessories that the characters come with. So Katara is going to come with an interchangeable hand that has this water ball on the end of it. it's definitely, I think, an odd looking accessory because obviously the ball has to be attached onto something and it has to be attached onto the hand. So they have this weird stalk here, this piece of plastic, which it obviously has to be there, but it's not ideal. It doesn't really look that good that they basically have to paint it the kind of flesh color as well. But it makes sense. The characters have to come with some sort of a water. Katara has to come with some sort of a water accessory, so they had to have something, but could have been better. Yeah, beyond that, Katara that's about all there really is to say. Zuko, you can see here, his is probably the most easily one to explain. You can see here, that's the hand from the other picture, but you can exchange this hand out here, the right hand, for a fist that has the fireball attached to it. That's one of his interchangeable parts, is a fireball fist, basically, so that makes a lot of sense. Aang here we can see with his accessory, which is the staff, the folded up staff. I don't know if he's going to come with the folded out one. I doubt it, just because that's going to be a very, very big and wide accessory, but it would be something that would be cool to get. One thing though that is confirmed with Aang is that you are going to get either, I assume it's going to be a full-on extra head for this expression, or else it's going to be like the front of face that you can exchange, because you can see here especially with the eyebrows, you can really tell it's a different expression. This is a determined Aang, you know, kind of about to go into a battle, and then this one is kind of happy Aang, or kind of neutral Aang. You can see here the eyebrows are very neutral and the expression is more normal. And then this one is obviously furrowed kind of brow, you know, determined look, and so on. So that confirms one of Aang's accessories. So it'll be interesting to see what else that they come with. Like with Zuko, you'd probably want, like, give us a sword would probably one of the things that you'd want. With Aang, of course, you have the glider and stuff like that. Could they give us a Momo? Who knows? Maybe some sort of air effect part would be nice, but because he's the Avatar, he could come with any element if you really wanted to. Okay, Katara comes with the water ball, but what else? Like, I assume you'd probably want another water accessory, because with Katara, it's kind of like, would you give her another expression? I'm not really sure what expression. Like, maybe it is just like some sort of like Aang, a determined expression for Katara or something like that, and similarly for Zuko, some sort of different one. But I'm not sure. But they're my predictions anyway for stuff. Like, I think Zuko probably should come with the sword. Katara, water whip effect part or something like that. But that's probably too difficult to do. Aang's probably the easiest one to determine. So yeah. That's really all there is to say here. There are all the pictures we have so far. If you're in America at the moment, places already have these figures up for pre-order. Just off the top of my head, I had a quick look. Big Bad Toy Store have the 3 available for pre-order, and Toy Wiz also have them available for pre-order. Now, obviously, this is the day they were solicited, so only the big places have them up right now. I assume other sites will have them available closer to release at the very least. But yeah, the impression I get is that it's probably not worth your while putting in an order on one of those big sites. You're probably going to have to pay customs if you're outside of America ordering from either of those 2 places. But for you Americans out there, they're up on those 2 big websites, so that could make your day really easy in terms of purchasing these figures. But yeah, I think they're looking very, very good. So just some quick speculation on characters I think they will do after these 3. So if they're going to do them in waves of 3, the next wave 2, I think is kind of obvious in that, okay, you've done your 3 main characters here. So obviously to fill out the rest of the roster, you have to do Sokka and Toph for sure have to come next. Sokka to go with Katara, of course, and fill out your original Team Avatar. Toph is such a fan favorite character, you have to have her. Then the 3rd slot is kind of like, I think you go for either Iroh or Suki. Now, I think Iroh probably would be the best way to go, but I can also see why they maybe wouldn't want to put Iroh and Toph in the same wave, just because, like, 2 of your most popular characters, why would you do that? So, you know, potentially Azula maybe. And then I think beyond that, you have, like, yes, you probably want to do an Ozai figure at some point. and then you're probably looking at doing other versions of the other characters. So I can see them definitely at some point doing a book 1 Aang, just to have that original look for Aang, and then also doing the book 3 Katara. I can see some people maybe wanting the book 1 Zuko, and that's definitely a possibility, for sure. Mei and Ty Lee would be other characters you'd want done. Suki, like I said, Roku, and then I think you're pretty much just looking at past avatars like Kyoshi, especially with the book having just come out, is a good shout. And after that, it's kind of like, do you do Zhao? Maybe not. I don't know how much of a need there would be to do, the book 1 villain, but I think that covers a lot of ground there. You do you fill out your team avatar roster. You have Iroh to go with Zuko. You do like I said, you do Azula, Ozai for your villains. Mei and Ty Lee are definitely options there if they get into like waves 3 and 4 and stuff like that. And then I suppose you're getting into the characters like Boomy, Order of the White Lotus, if you really want to go for more out there characters. But who knows if they'll do anything else. Like, obviously there'd be, after that point, there would be some clamoring for like Momo if he doesn't get done as an accessory for a character, and Appa. Like, doing a to scale Appa would be pretty incredible. It'd probably be super expensive, though, I think would be the thing, though, if they ever did an Appa. So they probably want to see if there's a huge success before anything like that happens. But in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on our better look and better details about the these figures here, the upcoming Avatar The Last Airbender figures from Diamond Select Toys. And also, if you have any questions, definitely let me know as well. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.